This is the Moshpit Backstage podcast for punk, metal, and rock interviews and segments.
Hey, this is Doug from Black Rheno, and you're listening to the Moshpit on Sin.
Doug is the drummer for Sydney metal band Black Rheno, who'll be touring with Hadal Maw on the Gopsel Of Heavy tour in Australia, playing at the Barwon Club in Geelong on May the 14th, Pelly Bar in Frankston on the 15th, and the Tote in Melbourne on the 16th. They released their debut EP, Let's Start a Cult, last year. Doug, thank you so much for joining me.
No worries, buddy. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, I want to get right to the beginning. How did the band start?
How'd we start? It was very easily. We, Brian, the vocalist, he owns a recording and rehearsal studio in Brookvale. And I ended up moving to Sydney, and I needed a place to store and practice drums, really. And apparently, he was the man to call, so I went down there and started playing for a bit, and we've actually walked out the door, and he's like, "Can you please be in a band with me?" Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. And yeah, same goes with Nano, our guitarist. He came over here from the UK, and he was doing the circuit over there with a fair few bands, and yeah, he just came in doing the same thing. Wanted to find a few guys to play with, and had a jam one day, and it just clicked. It was good.
In terms of the name, Black Rheno, how did you decide on that, and what does it mean?
It's a very good question. We still have no idea.
Oh, nice.
It was one of those ones we were just at a jam, and Mariano with his Spanish accent, he's just like, "What about Black Rheno?" That sounds alright. Like, all right, let's go with that. And then the next day, we're obviously like, "You still going with this?" Like, yeah, let's do it.
Now, in terms of you guys kind of playing together, it sounds very organic, like you just sort of, kind of got together. How did you sort of decide, or how did it come to be that you're playing the kind of music you're playing?
Yeah, well, it all really came down to, obviously our backgrounds. Like, I, grew up just listening to death metal, and that was it. And Nano, he, guitarist, he was just, pure, just stoner rock. He was always playing in stoner rock bands, and believe it or not, Ryan was actually a rapper to begin with. So,
that definitely comes through. It definitely comes through.
Yeah, you can hear it, but it's pretty much just a big mix of all our favourite genres, pretty much.
Gopsel Of Heavy tour. How did that get organised? Because I love the combination. It's a really great combination of you guys and Hadal Maw. I talked to them, I think it was a couple of months back, about their new album. But like in terms of sound, you guys, I think, have really sort of distinct sounds. You guys are kind of coming from different areas in a way.
Well, how it came about, it was, both bands got invited to the Dead of Winter Festival up in Brisbane. And, we're having a look at the bands, and like, oh yeah, Hadal Maw, they're really good. Like, yeah, we genuinely really like the band. The music's great, and we just started talking to each other, and we're like, let's hook up, let's do something. We might as well just, do a tour leading up to this festival, and see how it goes.
Thrash Blast Grind Fest. Unfortunately, I didn't get down to see it. How'd that go? Because that was such an awesome lineup.
Yeah, you missed out. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great vibe with everything. All the bands we were playing with. The nicest guys, and we were. Yeah, it was pretty much the first. Really, really big tour we were kind of a part of. The first time we ever went to Perth and Adelaide. Heaps of people turned up to every show, and it was just packed out every show, and pretty intense actually, but heaps of fun.
Definitely, there were quite a few pretty intense bands going to that. Also, like, I was really amazed that kind of, like, you guys started off 2015, late 2016, you released the EP, and you got invited to South by Southwest, which is, like, something it's in America, it's this...
I know, I still can't believe you actually
How did that come about? Because that's something really, really cool, really amazing.
Yeah, like, you know, obviously, you know, everyone knows about it, it's a pretty big deal, that thing, but, you know, we're like, well, why not? Let's apply for it. Let's just see what happens. And then, you know, a few months before it actually, you know, started, they're like, yeah, we'd like to officially invite you to come play Southwest. Like, yeah, and start saving money. But, yeah, it was crazy. It was an insane experience. Like, that was the first time all of us had actually been over to the States. But, yeah, we didn't get to do much sightseeing. It was pretty much, you know, played a few shows, you know, in a day, and, you know, it was almost every night that we were there, we were playing a gig, so, yeah, it was awesome. Met heaps of awesome people. The bands there were great. We got to, on our way over there, actually, we went to LA, and we supported Darkest Hour, which was nice. Pretty cool, actually.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the EP. When did you start working on that? I mean, you start the band. When do you kind of realise or start to think, hey, we should put together some collection of songs and we want to actually release that?
Yeah, well, like I said, yeah, we were just in a band practice, and, you know, we always had like a handful of songs that, you know, really stuck out more than others, and so we just sat there and we're like, yeah, this one sounds good. Well, this EP we're going to release, let's go all out. Let's put our best songs that we got at the moment on there and see how it goes. And yeah, it's going really well, actually. People seem to enjoy it, which is good.
Do you guys sort of write separately at all, or is it all kind of jamming? Because that's the sense I kind of get from you guys.
Yeah, it's never separate at all. It's always, you know, the three of us in the same room, and Nana will come up with a riff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And, you know, we could even just sit there and improvise for about an hour, and, you know, you give that look to each other like, yeah, that sounded good. Remember that one.
We've mentioned, you know, there's a lot of stuff coming in. You guys coming from different sort of, I don't know, backgrounds in a certain way. Is there ever any issues kind of translating all that stuff and getting a song that flows? Because I think definitely when you're trying to mix a bunch of stuff in, there's a risk that you can sort of...
it might be a bit too much, yeah.
Yeah, it might be a bit too much, or you kind of just abruptly go into something different.
Yeah, well, you know, the songs don't just come out straight away. Like, we've, you know, written songs before, and, you know, at that time we're like, yeah, that's sweet, let's roll with this. And then, you know, next time we play them, we're like, it'll end up totally different. I suppose it might just depend on what mood we're in, but yeah, we work on them for a fair bit, and, you know, make sure it's not too, you know, here's some death metal, and then here's some light stoner rock, and then black metal, and then yeah, we try and make it flow well, so it's not confusing anyone too much.
Another thing that really interests me about your band is the fact that you have no bassist. Like, it's not something that, like, oh, they've got no bassist, you notice when you're necessarily listening. But sort of doing a research, going, okay, these are the band members. And it's, hang on, they don't have a bassist. How did that happen?
Well, I don't know, I think the three of us just work together that well. I'm not saying there's no need for bassists at all. But, yeah, I don't know. It just seems to work. And, you know, when we're playing live and everything, people just, at the start, if they've never seen us before, if you get that confused look, like, what's going on here? Is the bassist out the back, or what's going on? But, yeah, it seems to work. It sounds really good. my opinion, but I don't know, it just happens.
That's really interesting.
Just keep rolling with it.
For the video for No Time for Numb Nuts,
I'm
always fascinated by videos because it's kind of like such a different medium. Because like you're always making music, and then you're going to translate it to this visual aspect. You know, once every year, 2 years, however many times you're going to do it. How'd you get the idea for that? What was the process like, and where did the claymation come into it?
It's there was a little bit of planning like beforehand, like just brainstorming back and forth. But the dude who filmed it and produced it all, Dan Farmer, he's an absolute maniac. He's awesome. He knows everything that he's doing. We played a gig on, I think it was a Friday night in Canberra, and we went and had like an hour's sleep, and then drove down to Melbourne and met Matty Young from King Parrot and this Dan Farmer on the side of the Hume Highway near Melbourne somewhere. And we're just sitting there in the servo, and he's like, "Right, I got this idea, and we're like, let's just go do it." And we ended up with what we have. And that was it really. Like I said, there was not much planning at all. But it's kind of all on the spot, and it worked out really well.
What about the claymation? I assume that would have taken someone a bit of time?
Yeah, that was one of Dan's mates. Obviously, he's really good at what he does. And we wanted to actually, the part in it where Ryan says, "Stub my toe." We wanted to make that actually happen, and we're like, we're pretty sure we need your toe, so that's not actually, get you hurt or anything like that. So he was like, I've got a mate that does claymation. We're like, yep, do it.
In terms of you guys in the future, you've like kind of skyrocketed really quickly, which is really amazing. And what are your plans for the future? Is that sort of something going through your head? Do you have any new material sort of in the works? How's that all working?
Well, we've got a lot of plans. We've been writing actually a lot at the moment. All going well. We'll probably start pre-production and all that kind of stuff, hopefully, late this year. We've obviously got this tour coming up with Hadal Maw, and then it was just announced the other day we're going on tour with Napalm Death and Brujeria.
I saw that and I was like,
in October.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Great combination.
We've been itching for it to come out. But, we've got all that, and then hopefully all going well next year, do a bit more international stuff.
When did you start first listening to music?
When did I first start listening to music? Obviously, when I was really little. Dad was a big, Zeppelin fan and the Doors and all that, so that was always playing in the house. And just kind of branched off that, really. And my older brother, he, started listening to, old Slayer and Metallica and stuff, which pricked my ears up a little bit. And it all branched out from there. Started finding more heavier and heavier stuff.
Yeah, that's the way it tends to go. In terms of you becoming part of this band, did you sort of have to do any sort of exploration of different kinds of music? Given that you said you were kind of a sort of death metal guy, and the other guys in the band are kind of into different stuff, and that's all smashing together. Did you have to kind of explore anything else?
I don't know so much about exploring, but my taste in music has definitely changed in the past 3 to 4 years, I guess. Like I said, I just used to be all about death metal and just blast beats, and that's about it. But now one of my favourite bands at the moment is still like Queens of the Stone Age, so it's hard to say. I haven't exactly explored more, but definitely taking in everything else and respecting everything else, I suppose.
When did you first start playing the drums?
When? I would have been about 11 years old. So, yeah, it was about 17 years ago, I think, yeah.
Are there any drummers that kind of influence the way you play, or sort of in your mind, like, I would like to get to that, or anything like that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, my favourite band of all time is Dillinger Escape Plan. And, yeah, Billy Reimer definitely tickles my fancy a bit.
Black Rheno will be touring Australia with Hadal Maw on their Gopsel Of Heavy tour in July, playing at the Barwon Club in Geelong on the 14th, Pelly Bar in Frankston the 15th, and the Tote in Melbourne on the 16th. Doug, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for listening to the Moshpit Backstage podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and Omni. To find out more about the show, go to www.syn.org.au/moshpit. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/moshpitonsyn and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at moshpitsyn. The regular Moshpit radio show broadcasts punk, rock and metal tunes and interviews every Thursday nights on SYN 9.7 on FM and digital radios. Listeners outside of Melbourne, Australia can stream SYN 9.7 online at www.syn.org.au. Thanks to Vintage Ruin for the music.
Hi, this is Tommaso from Flash Gun Apocalypse.
Hi, I'm Enid from Girls School.
I am Phoebe Pinnock from Heaven the Axe.
Hey, this is Gary Olney of the Misfits.
Hey, this is Kat Sproul from Horizon's Edge, and you're listening to the Moshpit on SYN FM.
Hi, this is Einar from Leopard.
Hi, I'm Virginia Lilly from the band Lily.
This is Raul from 1349.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ali from Zebrahead.
Hey, everybody, this is Charlie Benante with Anthrax, and you are listening to the Moshpit on SYN.